Good morning to you. Now we will continue with parliamentary procedure. In parliamentary procedure, we will first see assurances. What is assurance? Assurance is nothing but a promise, undertaking given by the government. Who is the government? The minister. Given by the government involving further action, either during the course of reply to a question or during the course of discussion on any issue. Two issues, kindly remember, two issues. One, it is a promise, it is an undertaking given by the minister as a reply to a question, during the course of a reply to a question or during any discussion involving further action on the part of the government. Now, in addition to this, remember, most important, that any direction given by the speaker is also an assurance. It is implied. Speaker says, please explain this to the house. That means, and minister will say, yes, I will explain this in the next sitting. That is a promise. So, not only he himself gives a promise, but also the speaker giving direction to the minister, which involve further action, that is also to be complied with as an assurance. And the Committee on Assurances has given a list of assurances, and that is the exhaustive list which can be referred by the departments. Now, what are those? For our just information, the matter is under consideration. I shall look into the matter. I shall inform the member. I will suggest to state government. I am reviewing the position. These are all assurances involving further action on the part of the government. Now, normally, an assurance should be fulfilled by the government in 3 months. If it is not possible to fulfill the assurance within 3 months, the department should write to the Ministry of Parliament Affairs and Committee of Government Assurances for seeking further extension for compliance of assurance. This proposal should be taken up with the approval of the minister in charge. On the basis of the letter received from the department, the Committee on Government Assurances will give further extension. This is how the assurances are dealt with. And another point you should remember is, even if Lok Sabha is dissolved, the assurances will remain. The assurances will remain, and it will be carried over to the next house, reconstituted house. It will be, because why? The government, there is no gap for the administration. There is no gap for the government. Like Woodrow Wilson said, there is no gap. The government is a continuous body. The assurance was given to the legislature by the executive. And legislature is there, executive is there. And it is the duty of the executive to comply with the assurance given by itself. The assurance was given to the legislature. Naturally, all assurances will be carried over. This is point, kindly remember. Another thing you should remember is, there is a committee for Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. There are separate committee on government assurances. And each committee consists of 15 members. Minister cannot be a member. The members are nominated by the Speaker for Lok Sabha and Chairman Rajya Sabha for Rajya Sabha. And the term of the committee is 1 year. And this committee will examine all assurances given by the House, given to the House by the Executive, and verify what is the extent of compliance of assurance, what is the quality of assurance, all assurances have been fulfilled or not, and what is the status of assurances, at the end of the year, and this report will be submitted to the House. And House will examine what is the extent of assurance, and it will give direction to the concerned departments. This is how the assurances are dealt with. Then comes what is known as laying of papers. Laying of papers. Laying of papers is nothing but authenticity. Authenticity. And immediately after the question hour, this will be there before 0 hour. Because the ministers are expected to be in the House for laying of papers. If you prolong this, suppose let us say 0 hour is taken and laying of papers are taken up after the 0 hour, then ministers are unnecessarily made to wait. So, to facilitate the ministers to attend their urgent work, immediately after the question hour, before the what is called 0 hour, the laying of papers will be taken up. So all the ministers or other standing committee chairman, other people, they will be allowed to lay the papers. So laying of the papers is when it is proposed to lay a paper on the table of the House. House means Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. Otherwise, than as a part of the reply. Suppose in the reply to a question, there are so many annexures. In the reply to a question, either starred or unstarred, there are so many annexures. Those annexures which are part of reply are not authenticated. It is not included in the laying of papers. Other than the reply to your question. For example, I will tell you, if the minister is placing before the House the annual report of UPSC or CAG report or the report given by the Public Accounts Committee. These are all placed at the table of the House. So, what is the authenticity? How it is? How we know that this has been seen and approved by the chairman and approved by the members, approved by the ministers? So, each such document which are proposed to be laid on the table of the House has to be authenticated by the minister in charge or by the chairman of the standing committee or the member who places this report on the table of the House. The authentication that is to be laid on the table of the House, Lok Sabha / Rajya Sabha, dated, signed by the minister and signature placed. This will be at the top of the page, at the top of the first page. It has to be authenticated and it is placed on the table of the House. And the notice period for laying of papers is 2 days. 2 days. And the Secretariat, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha Secretariat should be intimated from whom additional copies can be obtained, how many copies have been sent, and how many Hindi version, how many English version. And a copy should be invariably given to the Parliamentary Notice Office as well as Parliamentary Library. So, this is laying of papers. Some papers are laid from the constitutional point of view. Some are from the constitutional point of view. Some are for the to be laid, the annual report, etc. Constitutional point of view means UPSC report, CAG report. Secondly, papers to be laid under the statutes as a requirement of law. Annual reports, audited accounts of public sector undertaking, statutory bodies, etc. Then papers laid under the rules of procedure. This includes select committee report or joint committee report, etc. Then papers laid under the direction of the speaker. 4 types. The 4th type is under the direction of the speaker. For example, the statement made by the ministers in reply to half-an-hour discussion or the bills which has been assented to by president. These papers are laid for the information of the members of the parliament. So before any paper is laid, it has to be authenticated. And in addition to this, remember there is a committee on papers laid on the House to examine that all papers have been laid or not, and this committee is in existence from 1st June 1975 onwards. The committee is there. It will examine whether all papers, because once a paper has been laid, it becomes the property of the House. So whether all papers have been laid or not, whether it is required. Some annual reports, some reports are required to be within 12 months of the closure of the financial year. Whether it has been placed on the correctly on the required date or not, the delay will be identified by the committee, and the concerned department, the government department, will be hauled up. This is the job of the papers laid committee, the committee on papers laid. Second, we are coming to secret session of parliament. Secret session of parliament. Parliament means sitting of the secret sitting of Lok Sabha. First point you should remember is, this is only for Lok Sabha. Secret sitting can be held only by Lok Sabha and not by Rajya Sabha. First point. Secondly, the secret sitting can be convened by Speaker on the request made by the Leader of the House. Who is the Leader of the House? Prime Minister. Leader of the House, on the request made by the Leader of the House, secret session will be convened. When the House sits in secret, no stranger is allowed inside the House, in the chamber, or in lobby, or in galleries, except the members of Rajya Sabha, who may be present in their galleries, and members authorized by Speaker in the special galleries. So remember, no stranger is allowed, only Rajya Sabha members or any other persons authorized by the Speaker, and whose instance this is convened, on the Leader of the House with the permission of the Speaker, and only prerogative of Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha has no role to play in secret session. Second point. Third point, the secret sitting was so far held only once, when 27th February 1942 in the Central Legislative Assembly. This secret meeting was convened to discuss the war situation. It was convened to discuss the war situation. Remember, during the secret sitting, no person is allowed to take note of the proceedings of the secret sitting. Similarly, no record should be kept. And Speaker can issue such directions or as deemed necessary when the secrecy of the sitting is ended. How it is ending? The Leader of the House or his nominee will say, he will move a motion that the secret session be ended. And the motion being adopted, the secret session is deemed to have annulled. And after that, Speaker will allow which portion of the proceedings can be extracted to kept in the public domain. And only that portion will be revealed to the public. Number 2. Number 3, remember, most importantly, disclosure of any details of the proceedings in the secret sitting is a gross violation of the procedural rules, and also it will be a grave contempt of Parliament. This will be dealt with seriously. So this is called secret session of the Parliament. So we will end there. We will continue in the next class. Thank you.